Hello and welcome, I'm Oles Gerjuk and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. The amount of property sold due to the work of the online system called OpenMarket reached 10 billion hryvnias. Almost 55,000 transactions were made at electronic auctions. To discuss other achievements of OpenMarket system in Ukraine, we welcome to our studio today Viktor Vyshnov, Director of the System of Electronic Trading and Seized Property. Hello and thank you for joining us.
Hello.
So speaking of achievements, I remember in our previous interviews you said that OpenMarket became the first blockchain auction in the world. And I also know that you won the Open Data Business Award. So what else would you outline?
Yes, we continue our project concerning integration of blockchain technology, and we are currently working on integration of blockchain technology into statuses of our participants in order they were sure that their status wasn't changed somehow. Really what we have already done, it's the achievement of 10 billion hryvnias. It's a record for our system, and it was done because of our very good cooperation not only with State Executive Service, but also with ARMA, Agency for Recovery and Management of Assets. They also sell different arrested assets, and cooperation with bank system of Ukraine, because the biggest lots come from different banks, really.
Well, we're going to talk about your work in Ukraine, but since this is the first blockchain auction in the world, are you aware of any other countries interested in using this technology, in using this open market, maybe in borrowing, lending it into their states?
Yes, we have cooperation with several states, and we presented already the work of our system to several CIS countries, several countries in Eastern Europe, for example, Czech Republic, and also we made a presentation to United States of America, several governmental authorities, and they are currently watching how our technology really works.
Okay, so there is no reaction from the US yet, or there is some preliminary?
Yes, they are currently watching on blockchain technology. That is a common problem both for United States state agencies and European Union state agencies, as they are looking at the technology, but they're not ready to integrate it in state procedures.
Well, the most expensive lot so far, as far as I know, is Arsenal plant in the center of Kiev, which was sold for more than 563 million hryvnias, if I'm not mistaken. Could you please tell us how this very lot was sold and how long the procedure was going?
Yes, really, it's even not the whole plant, it's part of it. It's one building, but it's very large. It's about 40,000 square meters. That was an old plant building, which was just standing more than 20 years without any business inside it. We sold...
So basically that was an abandoned property?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, but it was owned by one of banks, Ukrgas Bank, and...
this is a state bank?
Yes. Yes, state possesses more than 99%. During our cooperation, we sold a great amount of their assets, and one of such asset was this building. We were selling it during more than 2 years, and we were really glad that we at last met the company that was ready to buy it, and now they are building a new business center in the center of city. I hope that this project will be successful.
Yeah, it is important that it's located in the center of city.
Yes.
That is a very profitable place, I would say.
But really that was a problem also because it has 4 stores only, and there are red lines concerning UNESCO.
Not to build anything higher
not
than
to
that.
build more than one more store above it. So it couldn't be transformed into
some skyscraper.
Yeah, but so it will be just an office center, 5-stored, and I hope that next year they will launch its work.
The construction work.
Yeah.
Well, 500 million hryvnias for 40,000 square meters. Do you think this is a fair price?
I think it's more than a fair price. Why? Because this building was an old building. It wasn't working for many years. De facto, it's the price of land on which something will be erected, some building. They will make a reconstruction, but it will take a great amount of money to make all the communications, and they will have to invest the same amount of money into it to make it nice and to make it really nice business center.
How much money did Satam earn in different auctions since the start of this year?
We have already conducted auctions on the total amount of more than 2 billion hryvnias to 2.1 billion hryvnias. That's for arrested assets and voluntarily auctions. But still we have one more type of auction. It's land lease auctions, and now we have already sold the right of lease for more than 2,000 pieces of land.
Since you started operating with Land Market and you sold more than 2,000 lots, as you said, what other updates do you want to implement in this Land Market, maybe until the end of 2019 or maybe for 2020?
In Ukraine, we now discuss the problem of launching the land market at all.
Right.
And I hope that from the beginning of 2020, this moratorium will be lifted, yes, and we will be able to start selling of different pieces of land, including state land. Mm-hmm. But still, there are a great amount of problems which our deputies will need to decide, as for example the ownership of foreign companies or different type of eliminations, for example for legal entities or private persons. So I think we need to adopt a new law concerning the land market, and then we will discuss how whether it will be the same system or it will be a little bit changed system, but
updated.
I hope that our open market land is ready also for selling the ownership rights for land, both state and private.
Mm-hmm. Well, this moratorium that you referred to concerns the agricultural land and rural area. So what kind of land are you selling?
We are selling the land lease rights for the same agricultural state.
But
land.
It's leasing.
Yes, but it's leasing for, usually it's for 7 years. And we now have the result that previously these rights were sold for 8% from the evaluation price of that land, state land, and now we sell it for about 18.3% of evaluation price. Mm-hmm. So it's more than twice higher than it was, and all this money.
How did you reach this point that basically you doubled the interest?
It's electronic auction, because before it was just physical auction, and due to it there were logistical expenses for the farmers. It wasn't comfortable
to travel and actually to be present at the auction.
Then to make a monitoring of the lots. It wasn't very comfortable because you needed to come to this website of State Cadastre to monitor it. Mm-hmm. Now it's very convenient. You can go to our website. It's one website. You can select a certain region and to see what kind of pieces of land are proposed.
Well, yeah, and basically it is very convenient for foreign investors if they are potentially interested in taking some lease of Ukrainian land. Could you please tell us what is the interest from other countries in investing in Ukraine?
Foreign investors usually use local legal entities to represent their interests in Ukraine, so we cannot somehow define that this for these types of land or for this region, for example, I don't know, Chinese or Turkish or European investors are more interested, but still we understand that a very big percentage of interest, especially in land, it's foreign investors, which mostly control different legal entities inside Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of all the lots that you sell, what properties get the most interest? We're not speaking about foreigners, speaking generally basically from the users of OpenMarket system.
The most interesting lots for our buyers are real estate lots, mostly in the biggest cities of Ukraine. So it's primarily Kiev, Dnipro, Kharkiv, Odessa, Lviv, other regional centers a little bit less, but still they are very much interested, and everything depends
so it's
on
about business development.
Yes,
mainly.
and mostly it depends on the starting price. The less its price, the bigger interest in comes, and really during the auction the price increases much higher if the starting price was really low. We had rather interesting auctions concerning the quotas from Ministry of Ecology of Ukraine, and they wanted to sell the quotas for import of ozone-destructing materials, and they started in 2017. They fixed the price. It was about several thousand of hryvnias for each quota, and we had then a little bit bigger prices than starting point. And then we decided to change the logic of auction. The starting price became this year less than 1 hryvnia. So it started from zero. And our participants could propose any amount of money for each quota. We received wonderful results. This year we gained more than 3.5 million hryvnias for that quotas, and we started in 2017 from 64,000 hryvnias for that. So the increase in price was in several thousand percent.
Which is great.
Yes.
So you said that this year has been pretty successful, but what goals do you want to reach until the end of it? I mean, there is still half a year to go.
Yes, each year we achieved the amount of sellings for about 2 billion hryvnias. So this year we already achieved it, and I hope that till the end of the year it will be 3 billion hryvnias.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, wishing you best of luck in that, and thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for being a guest today in our studio. That was Viktor Vyshnov, Director of the System of Electronic Trading in Seized Property. Thank you for watching Head to Head, and stay tuned for more with UATV.